So we've moved on now to the second page of the Quick Start Guide. And you might have expected us to start at the top of page 2, but in fact, we're starting down at the bottom. This is where the color palette is. And in fact, everything that you do with Macabacus in terms of colors starts with the color palette. We're going to show you how to take this palette and upload it into the software super fast. So the color palette for Macabacus has the ability to accommodate 7 rows and 8 columns. So in total in this palette, there are 56 color options. You may notice that there's some labels in the color palette. We'll get to those and touch on them a little bit later. For now, let's get started on uploading this palette into the software. So what we want to do is select the whole palette, and we've put spaces into the cells to help you with this. So if we go down to the first cell like this, and then hold down Control Shift and hit the right arrow and the down arrow, we've selected the entire palette. Now comes the fun part. With the cells selected, what we can do is go up into the settings menu, click Configure, and right at the top we can see color palettes. We have a default palette already. We can click the plus sign and name the new palette, CFI for example. Click OK. Now we click at the bottom, Import Colors from Excel, and all the colors have been brought into this palette super fast. Now the other thing that we can do if we like is delete out the default palette. For instance, toggle over to default like this, click minus, are you sure? Okay, we're all set. We're going to click the OK button here and then OK this and move on. Now I hope you found it nice and easy and fast to set up your color palette in Macabacus. Keep in mind that this Excel file is really a template. You can use it to set up your own palette and then upload it into Macabacus as well. Next videos, we're going to be using this palette to set up some more features and functions using colors in the software. We'll see you there. Now that we have that color palette loaded in, we're going to be able to do some really exciting things with colors in the next few videos. Before we get there, what we need to do here is take a quick look at how to set up the default colors, make sure that we understand what they do. Now, the first place that we can start is actually right down here, and we can discuss the default font color. You may think instinctively, if you set this default font color to, say, a charcoal gray, then everything you type into Excel would come out in charcoal gray. In fact, that isn't the case. In fact, the first place that this default font color is used is in the blue-black toggle. In fact, it's used for the black. For instance, if we look here at this keyboard shortcut, Control semicolon, what we can do is try it out on these fonts. Control semicolon toggles between black and blue. The black is using our default font color. Now, just drawing our attention down to the notes in this section here, we can see that the default font color also gets used when we're exporting or generating PDF files. Now down below, right here, if we investigate the default border color, it's really straightforward. It's simply the color that will get used for any new borders that we create. Now finally, we have a note about the default shading color. And you can see here that it gets used when shading alternate rows or columns. And we have the keyboard shortcut here, Control-Alt-R. So this is a great chance to get your hands on the keyboard and actually try this shortcut. So let's go down to this section here just for a moment. We're going to highlight these cells and hit Control-Alt-R. As we toggle through it, we can see that we're putting shading in either horizontally or vertically in the rows and the columns. So let's bring our attention now back up to the default colors. And what we're going to do is set up a black for fonts, a black for borders, and a nice gray color for the shading. So these are really quick to set up in Macabacus. We can just head up into the settings menu, click Configure. We can already see our CFI color palette here that we've imported previously. We go down the left-hand side, click on colors, and now scroll down. The default color section is right here. Let's click on fonts. We can see it's already using a black on the CFI palette, so we can cancel that. It's perfect. Borders, again, already defaulting to black. Let's cancel out. Now let's go into shading. Looks like it's using a gray, but not one from our palette. So let's choose this fourth gray right here on the CFI palette. We're going to click OK right there. And now we're going to OK this box and OK here. We're all set. Now that those defaults are all set up, try testing them out and practicing your keyboard shortcuts. Just off to the side on this Excel sheet, try the blue-black toggle. Put in some new borders and also put in some alternative shading into some cells. All the colors we set should be coming through. We'll see you in the next video. The auto color functionality in Macabacus is truly one of our favorites. Not only can it save you a ton of time automatically coloring your Excel files, it can also help you with reviewing and auditing someone else's work. Now let's first make sure that we understand what each of these line items is down below in our list. It's pretty straightforward to understand what an input is, and also formulas are relatively straightforward. Now a worksheet link is going to be a link across to a different worksheet or tab. A workbook link is going to be a link across to a different workbook or a separate file. A hyperlink, this could be effectively a link over to a website, and then external data sources are where people often pull data into Excel files. Now you may have noticed that we skipped over this line item for partial inputs. These can be extremely hard to find without Macabacus. Let's make sure that we understand what they are and why they're important to locate inside an Excel file. Now let's start out by taking a look at this input above. If we hit F2, we can see that the user has just keyed in 777, so it's clearly an input. Now if we look in the partial input cell, we can see the first thing, as a matter of fact, is an equal sign. The problem with Excel is Excel will categorize that as a formula. Now the reason that that is an issue for Excel to categorize that as a formula is that we can clearly see that there's an input tacked onto the end. And we need to know about that because it's an important part of our review process. The other issue here is the user could have put in a 786, just like this, preceded by an equal sign. Again, to us, that's an input, but to Excel, that is a formula. Now, the great thing here is that Macabacus has the ability to flag this as a partial input. Macabacus will also flag this little +9 as a partial input, which is wonderful. It's going to save us a lot of time, and it's going to draw our attention to parts of this Excel file which could be problematic. So making use of this auto color functionality is going to help us in a couple of ways. Number one, it will save us time by automatically coloring our Excel file exactly to our liking. The other thing that it's going to do is it's going to highlight to us some areas of potential concern within the file. Let's jump into the next video and quickly walk you through how to set up these colors to the CFI settings. Now we've set up this Excel template to make it really easy for you to configure the auto color colors. In fact, let's turn our attention down to this color palette section where we have the labels that were mentioned earlier. We're going to use all of these labels to help us find the correct positions on the palette for our auto colors. Now to configure these settings, we just want to head up right here into the settings menu, configure. Down the left-hand side here, we're going to click colors and scroll to the bottom. We can see here the auto color section. If we click on inputs, we can see over in the color palette exactly where inputs are on the color palette. Looks like it's that blue right there. You can click OK. Partial inputs are undefined. Let's click into the color square. We can see partials as the fourth square across the top. It's this orange right here. And we're going to OK that as well. Now let's double check into formulas. Click formulas. We can see it's already configured as a pure black, so we can OK that. Now we see worksheet links, and that's this green right down here. OK. And finally, we can see external data over there. Let's click into external data, check this color, and click OK. It looks like we just have a couple left. Let's just move this dialog box over to the side so we can see them. Workbook links here on the color palette would be that purple. Say OK. And then finally, we have hyperlinks, which are this red right here. Let's click the OK button. And now over here, OK and OK. We're all set. Now that we have things configured, we can try testing everything out. Let's in fact head straight back up to the auto color section, and we're going to zoom in so that we can make sure that we can see all the appropriate colors for each of these items. And as you can see, there are a number of different shortcuts here that we can make use of. You may not use the cycle functionality too much, but we definitely find we're often auto coloring the selection, sheet, or the workbook. In fact, let's test things out by using auto color selection. So we can head down here and actually highlight these first 3 line items. Let's change the color with the blue-black toggle, which is Control semicolon. So we can toggle these to black, and then what we can do is hit Control-Alt-A, and instantly they're auto-colored. Now, one thing to make note of is the footnote right down here at the bottom. So for worksheet links, workbook links, and also external data, you'll need to test these by actually adding in the appropriate link yourself. We hope you found this helpful so that you have the auto colors properly set up now. As we mentioned, we find this tool incredibly helpful. It's a big time saver, and it also helps us locate areas of potential concern in complex Excel files. Let's jump into the next video. We'll see you there.